Something here that there's a movement towards base, and I am not a fan of Ethereum at all. And this new base setup, the cost difference supposed to be cheaper, yada yada yada. I'm looking at this project here now. Don't get me wrong, this project here had a moment, as you can see to the right side. Our first entry here in this early project allowed us to do a double, right? So we were able to actually tap a double here, and profit wise, $10,000 investment, $10,000, $20,000 on the double. Now the problem is when you take that out, you're paying such astronomical fees and taxes. And this particular project here is set up to be what they call a reflective project, right? We've been watching this project. It's a very interesting project because it has all these new people into crypto, and they're bringing up this project, and they bring in influencers that are more based on business versus crypto. And they were able to do, I've just been watching the numbers, and you have 100,000 people follow you on TikTok, but the influencer or the shill VIP or whatever was only able to get about 380 people to get into the project, and originally was only about 250 people that bought in on the project. So 100,000 followers, only able to get 250 people. But the good thing about it was the people that came in on the business side did bring some money in here, and they were able to raise about $800,000 in liquidity before the launch of this token. Now the problem is here is that now that they've had their people take out their profits, right? So one guy was able to take out $30,000 in sales. And this is bringing the price all the way back down, as you can see, to its launch price. This project is literally launched on July 4th, and 23 days later, it is exactly where it started. And we'll get into that video as we move forward in other videos. We're going to be covering this project and a few other projects here that we find interesting, so that people can learn and get educated on cryptocurrencies, where to put your money, the best place to put your money, and when to put your money. In this particular moment here, we're showing you that we have a balance here. Now the wallet that we're using has $150 worth of wrapped ETH or base ETH. So it's Ethereum on the base network. But as you can see here, when we go to buy this actual token, it's taking our 0.045 of ETH, which is $145, $150, and it's giving us only $110 worth of this token, Baby Tiger. Now, what that means is we're losing almost 33% of our purchase power. Right now, we came into crypto to actually get rid of fees and things like that, and to make money. And I don't know if giving up 33% on my entry and 33% on my sale, which is 66%, is actually a great investment, because that means I'm taking all the risk as an investor. I'm taking all the risk of the project doing what it's supposed to do, but I'm only going to get 40% on my money. That might as well be American dollar bill, right? With inflation and everything that we're at, isn't that the same scenario? Now the weird thing is when we connect our wallet over here, and we do it on what's called DEX tools, you can see, let's wrap this wallet around, and we can see here that the estimated buy tax for Tiger is actually set up on the bottom left here under wealth. You can see we have a max there. It's 50%. So the estimated tax to buy, estimated buy tax on BBT is 50%. Who is running the economics on that side that thinks that taking 50% is actually, something that would make sense when it comes to investing? So this is things that we're going to key in as we're going to watch. We're going to see if this changes or whatever. Right now, even though this project has fallen all the way back down to its original price of entry, right? And you can see this giant spike here. They had a nice little spike on July 4th. That's the entry. From the entry, you can see that it fell down, right? It had a nice little move down. You can see that it came down here, and it lost, just so you can understand, from the entry price to where they release tokens, about 50% of their pricing. So they lost 50% on their move. So since the beginning of the entry, right? So the same, I'd say, what was that, July 6th? Within 2 days, it fell 50%. So 50% of the money was gone in 2 days and basically started consolidating. Now this is normal. Most projects will see a pullback after they go out there because the team has to, if you're new to crypto, the team has to take some of the marketing and sell the tokens to then create marketing or create wrapping more tokens and creating more supply of the token, which allows the token to get more tokens out there to sell as it grows into its circulating supply. So this is a normal thing that happens, and some projects don't, recover too well from there. This project actually did pretty well. It went sideways, and we can see it went sideways until July 12th. So it took about 8 days or a week for sideways trending, and then once it did its trending, it started to move into its what they call reflexization with the project, how it makes money. So this is where they started to show, you can see from that level, if you would have bought after the launch, right, because we did put out a buy signal on this token at that time on July 5th to buy in this section, right? So if you would have followed us or followed me in my calls on my Discord or my Telegram, you would have got in at this lower level here, and this would have been a prime entry for you down here, and that entry would have got you, if you can see here, a move to the upside that actually ended up being 446%. As you can see right here, 446%. So that means if you would have put 10,000 in, like we were talking about, you would have ended up with a 4x. So 10,000, you would have made 40,000 on this trade here, and most guys made that in this trade. As you can see, as we go down here, we'll show you some guys that made 33, 40,000, but you could have easily made $40,000 on this trade and then been out of there. Now, keep in mind, you are paying 33% in the first 10,000 would have been 7, so your 7,000 times 4 would have been 28,000, and then 33% of that would have came out. So at the end of the day, that's what I'm talking about. These Ethereum taxes are kind of crazy, right? Instead of getting 10,000 in the coin, you would have been about 7,000 in, and that times 4 would have gave you 28,000 instead of your 40, and then 33% of that would have came out of there, and it would have been basically you could have walked away with $20,000. So that's what I mean when I talk about. That's why you see here we have a double up of 20,000 over here. Is it worth investing in projects that want to use Ethereum-based networks, right? Even if it's base, even if it's anything Ethereum is terrible in my opinion, and this is why we don't really give out buy signals on a project like that unless we see something that we notice a big trend or know that money's coming into, and we only take heavy moving investments, and this is why we were able to process here and make 20,000 in profit. But that's the question. Now the question also comes down to is why is there an estimated buy tax of 50% on BBT, right? So let's refresh this here. We'll maximize again, and once again we'll see the tokens that come up there, and you can see the balance of the WWETH there changing a little bit, and that's the difference in what we're seeing here. So you see how we have a balance of WETH and we have a balance of 0.04, right? When we go to maximize buy here, you can see over here it only gives us 2.4. So they want to take 50% of our money right out the gate, giving us only half of our money. So it's $75 to buy, so 50% tax. So this is why this project isn't a project we can recommend, because having a project that wants to take 50% of the money is ridiculous. And you can see here the market cap is down to 2.6 million. The liquidity is down to 400,000. Now when this project started, it started out with $800,000 in liquidity. Half of it is already gone, put into the project, and you're supposed to be making the project money, but the market cap has fallen significantly. And like I said, you have 100,000 people following you, but you can only get 389 people to buy into a project. Now we talked to this team and this team here, and that they're out of Paris and French and all that good stuff, and they were unwilling to kind of take free advice on the project they were doing and what they were coming up with, and they were unwilling to give information on the team and other projects or what their ideal was. They just said, well, we're worth six figures and there's a bunch of us and we'll make this project amazing. And we said, well, that's great, but in crypto you have to kind of like, share a little information to your investors to allow them to, want to get in there. So we didn't get in there as heavy as we wanted to get into, but we knew that the first burst, so they were so anxious to prove that they were going to be able to do something here, that I think the Shilling VP actually, there was some talk that he had done some type of negotiations with a crypto ideal, and they ended up getting him like $300,000 or something. So it had an interesting buzz about it, right? And we don't know if it's for this project or another project, but there was a lot of money flying around there. And as you can see here, there's a lot of buys and sells, and we're watching all these wallets here. And at the end of the day, we're 23 days later, Michael Jordan. So 23 days later, we're exactly where the project started, right? And we are half the liquidity that was originally put in the project. So this is other videos that we're going to get into and dig into. So we're going to dig more into that. But right now what we're focusing on is base and the fees. So why is BBT at 50% tax, which is ridiculous, right? I mean, why would I have 150 bucks worth of ETH? And imagine buying $10,000 worth of this project right now and them taking 5,000 in tax. All right, that's just something that needs to be, rethought by the creators and so forth. And let's see if we can dig into some audit alerts here, right? So contract is verified. Now the buy tax here says 0. Sell tax says 0. So how is buy tax and sell tax set at 0 on the project, but yet it's taking 50% of our position, right? So let's go over here. Let's try a different thing. Let's try Uniswap, right? So let's get into Uniswap and let's see how Uniswap handles this, right? So here you go, BBT. Say I understand that we're going to use that token, and let's dig in here. And now we're going to select the token. You can see here we have in our base wallet, we have some other options here. We're going to click on here. And you can see the max is 0.45, right, which is about equivalent right now in Ethereum to around $145. So now when we go here, notice that on the buy side, we're going to get one. That could be just DEX Tools taking that 50%. So it might be. Yeah, because here you're getting on DEX Tools, what are you getting? 6,666. Over here you're getting 14,000. So actually, guys, digging in there, it looks like the fees are being held up by DEX Tools. So here's a video we need to, get out there and say, why is DEX Tools, estimating a buy tax of 50% on this coin, but Uniswap has got it where we're getting our, we're only getting hit with 33%. Right, so don't get me wrong, this still should be 2,100 coins or 21,000 coins at 150, right? Because this is $150 worth of coins when it's 0.45. It's $145 worth of Ethereum. At 143, it goes up and down, but about $145 worth of Ethereum, right? And it's currently valued at only 111. So we're losing 33% here on the base transactions, which I don't like anyways. But guys, here's a reason why you don't connect to DEX Tools and use their swap, because they're taking 50% of your buy tax. Look at that. So I would avoid DEX Tools there, and we'll make a video on that and break that down. But yeah, so if you're on Uniswap, you're getting 14,000 tokens. If you're on DEX Tools, right? DEX Tools needs to answer that. Why are they taking 50% of the coins from you? Oof. So avoid DEX Tools, guys. I would use the swaps that are out there. Ways that you purchase, use your Uniswaps, your Radiums, or your OKXs, or your Jupiters, because obviously DEX Tools here is taking 50% of your coins. But back to the real thing is that this coin has zero tax, zero fees, as you can see on their honeypot there, their checklist. They're saying that there's no buy tax and there's no sell tax, but we're still paying 30% on there. Okay, so let's dig into the left side here, the right side. We're going to check some audits here. And on the audit here, contract is verified. It's not a honeypot. Buy tax is zero. Sell tax is zero. Proxy contract, no. Mintable, yes. Now, mintable means they can continue to make more coins, which would basically, like I said, add to the circulating supply. Tax modification, yes. So this is where, they can change the cost of the tax, which could be something that's happening in here, but we haven't dug that far into it, and I don't have time today to really dig in there. Transfer pausable. That's very important because that means they're able to stop your wallet from getting in and out. You don't want that, or blacklisted, right? So good thing about this project is they can't stop your wallet from getting paid or selling or buying. So this is not a rug pull or what they call a honeypot or anything like that. So this is, as far as that's concerned, that's safe right there. So that's not too bad. Scam risk. This has some question marks on it. They got a scam risk on there. Let's see about more info. Balance. Let's see. Ownership. No. Balance modified. No. Hidden owner. No. Let's see. Max sell ratio, yes. Whitelisted, no. So this was all basically, there never was a whitelist of pre-buyers in there. The pre-sale was done in a different type of way than a whitelist. It doesn't have an anti-whale, but there's not too much going on in there as far as everything goes. Airdrop scam, no. Owner address. So there is an owner address in here that you can go look at, do a little more research, and we're going to make some more videos on this project. Today we're just kind of going over, is it worth putting in something and only getting, or getting hit with that 33% or whatever. But that's really what we're looking at as far as all this goes. So here's where you go find the owner address. You can pull that up and take a look at that. Owner balance, 660 mil. So like I said, the owner balance, they had a liquidity of 800,000. So we'd have to we'll have to dig in that. We'll make another video on that and figure all that out. Creator address, there's other things to look at here that we can take a look at. So at the end of the day, token sniffer's on here as well. And we'll take a look at token sniffer, verify that you're human, and this will allow you to get more into bubble maps, right? So the first thing I like to do is always look at bubble maps. And the bubble map just visualizes token transfers between the top 100 holders, right? So you can see right here, this, and you can scroll down right here. So the bubble map visualizes top 100 holders, wallets. Creator address is shown as orange. Burn address is red. Exchange address is what's cayenne. And other holder addresses are blue. So here, you can't really tell which one is or isn't on here, but I'm thinking this is probably, and this is where they should make it a little bit different in colors, because having an orange, burn, and red, but these are 0xD34, 073. Let's go back over to Baby Tiger, and let's go down to creator address 0x48, owner address 0xB15, 0xB15, 0x48, and none of those, as you can see on the bubble, are orange, so that makes no sense. But these are the connected wallets and everything that is there. So oh, here you go. So here's your B15. That should be a different color, not blue. So this is the owner's wallet here. 60%, 66% of the token is in the owner wallet. And if you understand the tokenomics of this coin, it's because it's supposed to be making reflective income. and then that's attached to all these other wallets that are attached here. So we'll make a bubble video on this and break this down to get a little bit more into this project as far as that goes. But this is how you do your basic research. So the question is it worth right now spending $150 and only getting $110 worth of this token? Chart wise, the token is down literally to its very beginning. So theoretically, this token should make another run back up to where it started. So I just don't know. You know, like I said, you have to do a every double up that you do isn't 100% gain. It's more like a 40% gain, right? So is it worth putting that money in to get a 40% gain on there? And that's where you really have to decide, guys. So other than that, we're going to do more research into this project, get into the white paper and, you know, a little more about this project and dig in and see if it's worth, you know, the hype or the possibility. Because, you know, like I said, crypto is about growing and coming up with projects that make sense. And, you know, everyone wants to get in crypto. This project was developed by a bunch of businessmen. And they're based out of Paris, and they bring in an American business guy who has 100,000 followers on TikTok, but his pull and his ability to bring over his followers to buy crypto is very limited, and I don't think they've done a really good job of bringing in crypto people who actually understand the network, right? So I did have a small discussion with them in the very beginning, and it just seemed they were very, very set on their own having their people in here, which kind of put a red flag up for me, because anytime that you don't want to expand out or listen to kind of like go over advice of people who've been in crypto for the last, you know, 7 years, or in this space on TikTok talking about crypto coins, you know, it's kind of like, you know, I don't know if it's arrogance or not the inability to want to share information, especially with somebody who I spend most of my time deep diving into crypto and kind of digging into scams and non-scams and, you know, projects that do well or not well and why they don't, and holding people accountable. And sometimes that could bring a red flag for projects to turn around and say, you know, you can't have people that from crypto that, you know, will dig in and get a little more deeper in there. And if you don't have control over what they say because you're not buying them off, it might not go well. So all we can do on the crypto side, guys, is take a deeper look into here, see what this project is all about, and decide if it's worth putting in those percentages and really digging into what it brings out. So there'll be more videos on Baby Tiger as we move forward. But like I said, projects like this, if you were getting in, obviously if it reaches its launch point, we're going to see where it goes from here. We're still monitoring. We might buy as it continues to go down. If it goes back down to its original area down here where we put out a buy signal originally, which was this area here, if it touches that, we might buy back in or watch if it goes lower than that and grab and then see what they can do, guys. Other than that, your boy VC, stay focused. Always do your due diligence. Make sure you do all your research before you invest. And other than that, have a great day. Good luck. God bless. And we'll be making more videos. Take care. If you did buy in this project, please comment down below why you bought it, what you think of it, and how you feel about it. And give us some other projects that you've been, you know, looking into that we should look into that you think are a good ideal and where they're at. All right, guys. Have a great Saturday, man. Good luck. God bless. Look for the next videos to come.